Hi, my name's Heather, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Excel. I'm going to create a chart and then talk about data validation rules, how you can prevent people from entering invalid data into certain cells in your worksheet. So let's look at this worksheet first. This worksheet has data about Prescott popcorn sales. It's a made-up company who manufactures popcorn tins, and they've set their sales price for each tin of popcorn to $13. It costs them $10 to manufacture each tin, so they would be making $3 per tin, except for the fact that they've got some fixed monthly expenses of $30,000. So it takes them a lot of sales before they actually hit that break-even point. And we can calculate exactly what that break-even point is with this formula here, where we take the fixed monthly expenses, B7, divided by B5, the sales price per unit, minus B6, the manufacturing cost per unit. So that'll give us our break-even point, and we can see at this price, we'll break even when we sell 10,000 tins of popcorn. At that 10,000 tins, we're making $130,000 in revenue, but we also have $130,000 in expenses. So over here in that chart, we can see our break-even point's right about here. Let's create a chart that better displays what's going on with our revenue and our expenses at the different units sold. So I'm going to highlight my revenue and expenses columns and then go under the Insert tab, and I'm going to insert a 2D line chart. Very good. So I see the chart, and I've got in my orange line, I've got my expenses. My blue line is the revenue. I'll change my title real quick so it's Profit Analysis for Prescott Popcorn. And I'd like to change this legend along the x-axis, and I can do that a couple different ways. One is if I right-click on this chart and hit Select Data, I can see that the data that was selected is the two columns that I want to graph. There's also an area for horizontal axis labels, and because I don't have anything special selected already, it just chose 1, 2, 3, 4 as those default labels. I'm going to edit this, and from this screen here I can select on my worksheet what I want to become the labels on the x-axis, and I'm going to select those units sold, and voila, they're immediately displaying on my graph on the x-axis. So I'll hit OK. That looks nice. So I like this chart. I can visually see what's going on, and when my revenue is greater than my expenses is when that blue line is greater than the orange line. Let's talk about data analysis. So you're looking at the different sales prices per unit, and as you plug in different numbers as the sales price, you can see the worksheet will change and your graph will change to show the difference with the revenue and expenses. What if you want to prevent someone from entering certain values into your worksheet? Like prevent someone from entering a sales price that's not going to ever give you a profit? Well, you can do that. From the Data tab in Excel, under Data Validation, we're going to choose Data Validation from that pull down. And there's 3 tabs here. The first one, Settings, will only allow certain values in that cell of your worksheet. So we have selected right now B7, our sales price. And what if we want to set some rules for that and say that we're not going to allow just any value? It's okay to have a whole number, but it's also okay to have a price of $15.50 or something that has a decimal place. So I'll allow decimal values, but I will only allow them if they are greater than the manufacturing cost. That way we actually have a chance of making money. So this data validation rule is going to keep people from entering in values that won't ever earn us a profit. Let's look at the other 2 tabs. We've got an input message, and that's what's going to appear as like a tooltip when you select this cell B5. And I'm going to just put something like enter the price per popcorn tub. And our error alert tab, we can specify the exact error message that will pop up if someone enters in invalid data. And I'm going to put an error message of you can't earn a profit if your sales price is less than manufacturing cost. And there's 3 different settings here that we could have for this error alert. We could either stop them cold so they cannot enter in invalid data. We could warn them but give them the option to go yes or no, do you want to continue with this data? Or we could just let them put whatever they want in but have an informational message that what they entered is probably not right. Let's go ahead and stop them cold. So we'll hit OK. First thing we notice is because we have B5 selected, that input message pops up, enter the price per popcorn tub. So I can go ahead and try entering in a price that doesn't meet my data validation rule. What if we sell each tub for $2 per tub? I'll go ahead and hit enter. And it says in our pop-up message, you can't earn a profit if your sales price is less than the manufacturing cost. So that's the exact error message we put in. And we have the option, we can't just get rid of that message or it'll revert back to the old price per sales unit. There is no way to keep that and go somewhere else on the worksheet. It's going to keep popping up this error message until we put something in that actually matches that rule. So let's take a look at data validation, and instead of stopping someone from entering in bad data, what if we just warn them and we give them a chance to change it if they want to or not? So I'll hit OK. This time when I enter in some bad data for my sales price, then I get that pop-up with that same message, but it gives me the choice of yes or no, do I want to continue? So if I say yes, it allows me to put something in where I can definitely see my break-even point is selling negative tubs of popcorn, and my revenue is going to be negative. So from this point, I could go to data validation and I could circle all the invalid data, and I see yes, there is some invalid data on my worksheet. And I could clear it by clearing validation circles. I think that's a good stopping point. That talks about data validation, and my next video will talk about scenario analysis.